Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I am here sharing my final set of cards from this Park Lane birthday 12 by 12 paper pad. It's 24 sheets of double-sided cardstock. This is all I have left of the cover, and that's just because this clearance sticker wouldn't come off. But if I counted right, I believe I made 114 cards. I do also have the back cover, so that's a thing that I can now get rid of. And then I did pull out, this is like my little leftover stuff. So I did cut all of the covers off. I have a really bad tendency to lose my bookmarks, so I figured that these will make cute little bookmarks, essentially. Definitely not fancy, but I figured I would use them while I could. And then I'm left with these scraps of, this one doesn't really count. So I'm left with these scraps of the background papers. I used 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11. Or no, this one's 8.5 by 11, the yellow, and then this navy was a 12 by 12 sheet. But I used those 2 while I was working on things. So these will go in my leftover scraps to use for something in the future. And then all the scraps I have left after that is what's in this basket. So a couple of things cut from cutting things out with my Cricut, and then a lot of like very small scraps left here. So all of this is just going away. I really feel I've used the paper pad sufficiently to be happy. So I am going to go through just very quickly those 114, I think, cards to show you what I made. These are not necessarily in the order that I made them in. I do have a full playlist of all the cards. I will link it, I think it's up here, up above, and then I'll also link it in the description box down below. And you can just see all of the cards that I made for the whole time. So I am just gonna get started, I guess, and I should set, as I go, I'm just gonna set envelopes to the side because I did make sure I had the right number as I went. So this is the first set that I'm gonna share, background, cut apart, little flag, and then I did put scraps on the inside of cards as I had scraps available. So if I can make 2 piles. This one has a little gem added, as does this one. I just got those at Dollar Tree. A lot of these have like nice foiling on them, which I really enjoyed. All right, so that is the first bunch in a couple of different designs. And then I'm just calling them bunches in where I put in envelopes in the middle. This is the next clump that had this kind of vertical strip cut apart, a little scrap here on a background. There's still more scraps in all of these. I'm just not showing them all to you because that would be kind of boring, I think. There's that. And then as I keep pulling things off of my stack, I have ones that are cut in a bunch of different cuts with little skinny things to divide them. So we have some that are cut with the short on the top. We have these that are kind of like short on the side. I don't know which way I'll put these cards. Split in half. Split in half this way. And then diagonals. And then this kind of diagonal. All right, then the next group, oops, I'm trying to collect too many, is these vertical ones. I believe this is one that came from a modified version of one of the Call Me Crafty Al sheet load of cards. I will link her channel down below. I did use several sheet loads. I'm not gonna link all of them. They're in the individual videos, but I'll link her channel down below. So this used up a bunch more of the cut aparts as well. And then This group is kind of large. There we go. This one has little vertical strips behind cut apart, full sheet background, lots of gold foiling. And I did a few different designs with this set. I think this was actually one of the first sets I did because it just goes really fast. And then these two are a little different because they use tags. I didn't end up adding gems to these. I might do it later, we'll have to see. But in the meantime, that's kind of how they are. All right, and then this one uses like a random assortment of card bases. But it's this kind of layered look with the strips here and then another piece up here and then a cut apart. Some of these are more like generic celebrate, party. Some of them are actually completely generic note cards. Not so much this section, but some of the other sections, so that I could use them for really anything. It doesn't even have to be a birthday card. I did try to do that as much as possible. This was another set of sheet load designs that really used up everything. These all have double flags on the inside as well because it was a sheet load that had 0 scraps left over, which is awesome. Oh, and then I flipped it around. And that used up a double set of sheet load. I think it was like 4 pieces of paper all in one go. My stack is getting very precarious sitting next to me. I might need to start a second stack. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is probably the biggest chunk and in a few different designs. So first off, I did this with cut apart, with using my Cricut to cut some things, some background strips, all that good stuff. I believe another sheet load to help me with these. And then this has the reverse of the backgrounds. And then I also did a bunch of this design. That's one I also cut out of my Cricut. I mean, if I'm making it cut, I might as well get a bunch done all at once. All right. And then my last stack, this is the chunk that I just did in September, using up all of the leftover scraps. So just a bunch of miscellaneous designs, using up the whatever scraps I had. This one I'll add a cut apart or a sentiment once I'm sending it. And then these are like very plain note cards, which are actually kind of nice to have, quick to send out, all of that good stuff. And then I think this looks better vertical. And a couple more horizontal. And then these last couple of vertical ones. So that is all of the 114, I believe, cards. I'm gonna try to show you all of them. I don't think that's gonna happen because there's like so many that they'll have to be clumped up quite a bit. But we're gonna see how many we can fit onto here. So this one, these are all like the same, so I'm just gonna clump those together so that you can kind of see. And then I have a bunch of these, a bunch of those, and then a bunch of all of these designs. These are all like slightly different, but essentially following the same pattern. Now it's just getting messy and chaotic, I will be honest. And then the big stack that's still left. A whole bunch of variations on this design. A couple of these guys, a bunch of variations on this design, a bunch of variations on this design, all these divider ones, they're gonna just fall off the table now in all the different shapes, and on all of these with the verticals. And then I had a group of 4 that kind of match each other. And then these 6 kind of match each other as well. So that's the ridiculous pile at this point. Quite chaotic for sure. And then I also had the little set of bookmarks that I made out of the cupboard. So I think it was a very successful pad kill for sure. I really enjoyed this project. I'm excited to be done with it and file away all these cards or give them to friends and family for them to use, all of that good stuff. So let me know down below if you have ideas for what I should try to use up next or what I should try to use. Also let me know if you've tried to use up an entire paper pad just making cards and what you got out of that. Also, just leave me some sort of birthday emoji to say hi. That's also great. And then follow me on Instagram at Creative Life of Liz. You can see in progress and finished spreads of my planners, bits and pieces of the projects I'm working on, bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.